good CPE, we call them CPEs, continuing professional education, in theater specifically, because, well, you don't really do theater online unless it's theater history or theater appreciation.
Oh,
Read
this is
the
ugly.
play and let's discuss it.
This
And
is
that
ugly.
we could do for anything. So I usually do like, let me read this book and we'll do a book study, or I'm going to log in how many lesson plans are that I've worked on my lesson plans, and then get credit that way. But, you know, a lot of times they want for 3 credit hours of graduate level work, which is, you know, graduate level work, right? They want a lot of money. And money that I guess I'm just not willing to pay when it's not going to benefit
are
me,
you
when it's
paying
not
money
going
now?
to pay me forward. So I took the plunge.
How much?
$37 a month.
Oh, that's a month.
Yeah, but I can cancel it. No,
Okay.
no, it goes toward actually. It's the equivalent for an entire year of what a master's class would cost me, or graduate class would cost me. But it is.
All right.
No, it's just, but it's very theater specific, so I'm getting like actual theater CPE. So
I see. You found an amazing news article?
it's not.
Okay. Explain your theater stuff a bit more.
Well, it wasn't really theater stuff today. I mean, it was.
Oh my gosh, what was that?
I don't know. You've got so much around here. It's making me
Anxious.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I felt today, anxious. It's a lot better than it was. Because, you know, when you start messing around with computers...
We gotta think about where we buy these hangers. Because this is like the 9th hanger that I've seen in your room that...
Is this any
end
better?
Up on the floor, they end up like this, and this isn't useful.
Is this any better?
What can I make
Hello?
out of this? What can
Nothing.
I upcycle
Throw it away.
this?
You throw
No,
it
I
away.
need to upcycle it.
No,
I
you
really
throw
need
it
to
away.
upcycle it.
It's broken. Oh my gosh, this camera is bothering me so much.
Well, you did this to yourself. You're trying to stream on a machine that's really old.
No, this is my machine. This is the regular machine. This is the old machine right here, the one where you see the XP thing. Do you remember Windows XP at all?
Yeah. Barely.
Oh.
Barely.
They can turn your home computer into a bomb.
What?
Oh, jeez.
Can that happen?
That's called clickbait
that
right
real?
there. That's called clickbait.
Can that really happen?
No.
Though? I didn't think
No,
so.
you can't. Just no.
I didn't think so.
Impossible.
I thought that if your computer was going to explode, that it would have to have some kind of an explosive attached to it physically.
Yes.
That's what I
Exactly.
assumed.
Mm-hmm.
But I suppose people could be lured into believing just about anything. Such fake news we have.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I did take a class, but it was in creating a mission statement. So instead of creating a constitution, in order to create culture in my room at the very beginning of the year, I think I'm going to have them all sit together and develop a mission statement. But what I thought was really interesting about the class that I took was that they talked about the golden circle.
The golden circle.
It's a very simple concept where you've got the what, the how, and the why embedded into a circle. And they say that the reason, or it was a TED talk, I can't remember with whom, but he said that the reason that Apple is as successful as what they do as any other company out there, like, you know, nobody would buy an MP3 player from Dell. Why would I buy an MP3 player from a computer company? Well, you do. You buy an MP3 player from a computer company all the time. But what made Apple so successful and Dell not is the fact that they started from the center of the golden circle, which is the why. Why am I doing this? And work their way out to the what. So instead of saying, what did they use? They used TiVo as the example. And they said that TiVo started with we can pause live television, we can record from any device we can. This is what we do. And then they said, this is how we do it. And then they said, this is why we do it. And everybody went, you are going to be controlling every aspect of my life? I don't think so. You're going to memorize my viewing habits? Oh, I don't think so. That scares me. And they backed away. But if they would have done it exactly in reverse, if they would have said, are you the type of person that wants to control your entire life? This is the why. I'm doing this so that you'll be in complete control. Then we got a product for you. And then suddenly everybody would say, well, sign me up. So it's just thinking, the golden circle is just thinking in reverse. So I took that away. And he talked about why Apple is as successful as what they are, because they engineer their products from the inside of that circle outward. They don't tell you what they're giving you. They talk about the fact that they want to be innovative and they constantly want to deliver something that is the next best thing, and you want to be first. And that's
they also
why
kind of tell you about why you need it in your life versus,
right.
Oh, we buy this processor because it runs at 2.6 gigahertz.
I don't want to tell you what I do. I don't want to tell you.
Buy this computer because it's going to make your life easier.
Right. And because they work, and they've got people that are lined up, for 6 hours waiting in line to buy the next phone because they want to be first. And that's at the core of this, what I want.
It's popular culture now. It's a brand. It isn't a computer company.
But it's still
a brand.
But it's still based on that golden circle that everybody is completely and absolutely plunged into the center of. This is why I want it. This is the why, and it's not that I could buy it somewhere else or that I could get it, wherever. It's that they're completely embedded in this why, and that company sold them on it. They sold them on it years ago, and that's basically why it worked. He talked about
Apple device.
Langley was, some guy that was gonna invent the airplane, and he had every possible thing that you needed to have. He had the funding, he had the intellect, he had the college degree, he had people that had college degrees, he had support from the media. He had everything that he needed to have in 1903 to get an airplane to fly. But Wilbur and Orville Wright, who didn't even have a high school, I think, degree, and didn't have people that surrounded them, really wanted to put an airplane into the sky because they thought it was going to change the world. So that was why they wanted to do it. But they said that Langley wanted to do it because he wanted to be famous and he wanted to get rich. So you've got why I want to do this versus what I want from this. And one system worked really well. Obviously, we know Orville and Wilbur Wright, but one didn't work at all.
So you're trying black box Linux at the moment. Never heard of it.
What's the difference between black box and purple box or red box? Or
they're different distributions, so they have different features made by different people. They all use Unix, which is the kernel. They all have the same kernel, but they do different things. They have different features.
So Linux is not like Microsoft or IBM or Apple in that they aren't a company, they're just an operating system?
Exactly. And Linux is a family of operating systems. So you can have Ubuntu Linux, Black Box Linux, Linux Mint. There's a bunch of different Linux versions that you can have.
And you're using it because it's probably the best thing.
You're doing pen testing or learning how to get into hacking, for example. I would recommend Kali Linux, Black Box, or Parrot. If you're just doing it at home use, I recommend Ubuntu, as disgusting as it is, because of how user-friendly it is. If you're using it for home and other purposes, I'd recommend Debian. Kali is Debian. CentOS is CentOS. It uses Yum package. What the heck?
I can't read anything because I've got this spray-away glass
and
cleaner.
it's missing a lot of packages
right
by
in
default.
front of me.
Okay, so I don't want to get the old
That's
one.
better.
That'd be like installing Windows XP on your brand new computer.
Right, yeah, which is stupid. And a bit insane.
This isn't stupid or insane because it's not a brand new computer.
It's not.
It's an old
Oh,
computer.
it's an old computer running an old computer operating system.
2008.
Okay.
This is the era that it's from. And this also suggests 2008. Do you know what this is?
It's an Apple. It's an iPod.
Mm-hmm. It's our original iPod.
Look, slide to unlock.
Touch. Running
Look
iOS 4.
at that. That was high tech.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still surprisingly usable, like compared to XP, because I've been trying out XP for the past few hours, and like 2 years ago, 4 years ago, you could use it like flat out because it was still supported by Microsoft. Like after April 2014, it lost support, so it's a lot harder to use XP, and a lot of people dropped XP support. But around 4 or 5 years ago, you could still use XP pretty well. Like, everything was supported on XP. 2 years ago is okay. Like, Firefox still had support, so you could browse the web very well. But today, it's like, nobody supports XP. Nobody. Like, even
when
Firefox
did they get rid of
dropped
it
support.
then? You said 2014?
Uh-huh.
Well, that's 4 years, and 4 years is a long time.
Mm-hmm. So it's like using Windows 95 now. To be honest with you.
So, what would the master experiment be then? I mean, what would the end outcome be? That you
can I produce videos? Can I stream? Which is already a no. I cannot stream. That's why it was so late, because I wanted to get OBS on there. Then I found out that OBS is reliant on DirectX 10. We use DirectX 12 today. Doesn't even have support for DirectX 10, and you can't get support for DirectX 10 on XP. It just is impossible. So you can't stream. You can't use OBS.
Well, I know that once they decide I'm not going to support it anymore and I'm not going to offer you anything, like we even tried to go onto the Wayback Machine for what I had at school when I was having my lights issue at school. We tried to go onto the Wayback Machine to get drivers, and the drivers didn't exist anywhere. So I think that once somebody decides that they're not going to support something, that it does just have to gradually die. I mean, it just has to. It's kind of set on the shelf and left to do its thing. So here's the thing: why didn't you install one of these programs instead of? I mean, I understand your experiment and what you're trying to do, but
I'm gonna install one of those programs soon, and I already did, and I was all set up to do a Linux experiment, but then I don't know what happened. Some things just came up with school.
Well,
and
yeah,
everything.
you're still in the midst of teaching.
Like,
so
I think that because I wanted this because Office. I just wanted to be able to use Office to create everything I need, even if it's an old version of Office.
Well, if you've got an old box, can't you install Linux on your old box and then just to hook up that box when you're ready to go Linux? Or
well, I wanted to do like properly switch to Linux for video editing with DaVinci Resolve, photo editing with GIMP. You can use Linux. It's perfectly.
So por qué you did not do this?
Because I just wanted to do the XP thing for now, because I wanted the digital detox, because if I'm on Linux, it's going to be just like regular.
Am I pronouncing it incorrectly?
You can pronounce it Linux. Probably people are mad that I'm saying Linux.
Probably. Yeah, because I've never heard you say it before.
Linux.
Guess what I found today?
What?
In the midst of all of those papers that we pulled out of the garage, which made me really upset. My mom's yearbook from the first couple of years that she taught. And you know what else is in there? All three of my older siblings, because when she first started to teach in the school that she taught in, the only school that she taught in, which was considered a country school, even though it was like a town school, like a real brick and mortar, not a wooden outhouse type driven, not like, I mean, it was like, because she taught 2 classes blended, so maybe that's why she talked about it being a country school. But the sister that is the youngest of that trio, we had 3 children born, and then mom and dad waited 10 years and then had 2 more children. So of that first family that they had, quote unquote.
I see.
We had a little one in kindergarten. We had a little one in 3rd grade, and we had another one in 4th grade.
Cool.
Isn't that cute?
Mm-hmm.
So she's there, Mom is there, and then I have my sister, my brother, and my other sister. That's so sweet.
That is sweet.
Yeah. And
We
then
should
and
send
the
it to
yearbook, and then it's a pretty, it's a pretty detailed yearbook, even though they put it together like literally cutting and pasting and photocopying, risographing it together.
That'd be something good to learn on. He said create custom DLLs to stream from XP.
What's a DLL?
It's like, I don't really know too much about it to tell you, but it's stuff that the operating system needs, like files that other software references to. And the DLL that he's really talking about is DirectX.
From Windows XP. So you should give that a shot, huh?
Mm-hmm.
While you've got it installed. But I don't understand. Do you have like a 3rd box? Maybe you can do 3 boxes and then just plug and play.
I could do another box. This one right here. Let me show you. This is my first custom computer right here. Kind of broken apart right now, but this does work very well. It's very modern. You can run Windows 10 on this box easily. I don't know why I'm calling it a box, because it's just a motherboard with a CPU and some RAM right now.
But it seems to me you've got a case right there.
That has...
This is your case here, and then you've got another case over there.
That's running Windows Millennium Edition.
Oh. Well, why don't you put one of these as a Linux machine then? You probably should.
But this computer right there is dual booted with Linux.
Oh.
So I haven't said I'm going to make a slower computer into my Linux machine.
Oh, okay.
But if I do that hacking course, I probably would want.
Feel like my summer is already starting to slip away because we're already at the end of we're already at the end of our 2nd week.
So a DLL is a dynamic link library.
Oh!
Library is the key word there, because if you're a programmer, you know that you need to use these libraries to get to certain things. Like there might be a library that says, oh, monitor the system time, monitor the system date, or what is the usage on the CPU right now. So you can easily go into these programming languages and see if, like, Windows system monitoring dot CPU usage is greater than 95%, then shut down the system, because that's not good. It's fine if your CPU usage is above 95, but just as an example, you want a fast PC exactly. So I want to use my modern Ryzen 7. And people also probably mad that they say Ryzen and not Ryzen.
Yeah, isn't it usually pronounced
Ryzen?
Ryzen.
But Jay's 2 cents always says the Ryzen, because before Ryzen was a thing, they always just called it the Zen architecture. And AMD is no longer for poor people. AMD is now the big guy. Like, Intel is the one that people don't want now. Like, everyone's going to be running an AMD box now
because of Ryzen?
Ryzen 3rd generation, or Ryzen 3000.
Where's this little guy?
And I haven't heard too much about it's somewhere. I haven't heard too much about Ryzen 3000, but I just know that they're switching to a 7nm process. So the best way to show you is, like, if you take off that aluminum thing on the CPU. You've seen the CPU before, right?
Yeah.
Let me actually show you one that doesn't have a lid. That doesn't have an IHS, an internal heat spreader. Hold on one second.
A spreader? Yeesh. Oh, a heat spreader. Okay. Spreader as in, like, physically ripping something apart. That'd be not good. But, a heat spreader, like, you know.
So this is the silicon on the chip. You see that right there? This is an old AMD Duron. It's good to run XP. But kind of the things that make up this nanometer, this process, the smaller it is, the less heat it produces, and basically the more efficient it can be. And AMD has a 7nm process now with Ryzen 3rd generation, But Intel, with their, I think their 10th generation processors, are still coding 10 nanometer process. So obviously 3 fewer nanometers means it's going to be a lot more efficient. So that's why people are so excited about 3rd generation. And also, I believe that they have better single-threaded performance, like a lot better single-threaded performance. And that's what Intel always beat them on.
So we always try to buy like, we never end up with the best. Code. We never end up with the best, most efficient, fastest, and latest and greatest software. We always go like 1 year behind.
Yeah, that's what I always do, because 1 year behind you're still getting great performance, but it's gonna be heavily discounted because nobody wants. Like, I'm still running Ryzen 1st generation, and I bought that when 2nd generation was a thing just because 1st generation I could get such a good deal on it that I'd be getting at least 75-80% of 2nd generation performance for half the price. And that's like a quarter of the price that you get for a little bit better performance on Intel's side.
And what I find pretty amazing is that you don't have a cheap build. I mean, your build was pretty.
Oh yeah.
Pretty close to $1,000, wasn't it?
It's probably over $1,000 if you add it all up already. Yeah, it's just the GPU that's gonna be expensive. Because I'm running a 1800X, which was the best processor you could buy from AMD back in 2017. Before Threadripper, of course, because Threadripper are the huge things that are for workstations.
Okay.
But the thing about AMD is that it's not for gaming. If you want to do a lot of gaming, you're gonna get better performance on Intel. And I think that that's changing for 3rd generation, but it's always been that story, even back in the day. But I think the only chip that really set them apart, like when AMD was better, was like 10 years ago with the Athlon 64. I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was the Athlon 64, because they were the first people to get 64-bit processors. Do you understand the difference between a 32-bit and a 64-bit?
Well, I understand the difference between a 640-pound man and a 320-pound man. And trying to shove a 640-pound man through the same size doorway as you're trying to shove a 320-pound man through isn't going to work.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot kind of like 64-bit versus 32-bit. There's a lot more data that the processor can look at, because 32-bit it can only understand up to 32 different things in binary code. So if you do 101010, you can basically get 32 ones and zeros per number for a 32-bit.
You know what I heard?
But what?
I heard that there's somebody that became very innovative and decided to take binary code and turn it into DNA strands. So all of the ones were the A's and the G's, and all of the zeros were like the C's. What's on a DNA strand? AGCT?
I think so. At ATGC. At
ATG.
Golden Corral. Thank you,
at Golden
Mr.
Corral.
Mr. Rod.
Mr. Rod at Golden Corral.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got like a 0 representing the A's and the T's, and the 1s representing the C's and the G's, or vice versa. I can't remember. So he's like taking binary and transferring it now into DNA. So you can store trillions of bits of information in a tiny little vial.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was interesting. How you can take binary, something that's very
biological.
Yeah, well, and make it
natural.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Something that's very mechanical and make it. That would be an interesting thing to study, wouldn't it? How that works.
So he's looking for DirectX Windows XP source code. Maybe you'll find it now that XP is so old. But I know, like, if you tried to search for like DirectX 12 source code, you wouldn't find it because Windows is strictly under lock and key. Because if that got open source, they released that source code to Windows, it would just be horrible, because all the virus developers would be able to look at the code, find all the exploits, and make really, really bad viruses. It's like if the viruses for a human body were able to like directly access the DNA, like go right to the DNA. It's not what you want. That is interesting, though, isn't it? Decoding DNA sequences into binary is very interesting.
Do you know what tomorrow is?
Anniversary. 12 years.
12 years?
28 years.
28 years of married life for me.
Mm-hmm. Your first husband, right?
Was my first husband. You know.
Your first and only. Like most
husband.
people have to go through like 3 before they find the one that they
years
need.
with my first husband.
I
wonder if I'll make it as long as my mom and my dad did. I think I will.
I think so.
It depends. It depends on life expectancies, I think.
Whoever's gonna die
My husband
first.
dies early.
And if you die early, then that's gonna happen.
I don't think I'm gonna die early because I got this genetic longevity on my side.
You're at least gonna be 90.
Yeah, Mom was, 86, 87? My mom was 87, and then my grandma was like 93, and my grandpa was 97, and yeah, we're always really close to our 90s. But yeah, we all are dying.
I think that there's like a point where your DNA starts to decompose or just...
Yeah, where when you get older, your bones get less. Your bones get.
I want to die at 60. Screw getting old. It's boring. Why do you not want to get old?
I have to get old because I waited so long to have babies that now I want to have grandbabies, and this is the age where most of my classmates that I always looked at and said, "Oh, what? You gotta live life before you get married, and then you gotta be married and enjoy your spouse before you have a child, and there's certain things that you need to have." And all of those people that I thought were crazy are now they're on their 3rd, 4th, 5th grandbaby, and they're just enjoying having grandbabies, and I'm like,
you don't want to have any grandbabies soon, do you?
No, I don't want to have grandbabies soon. You gotta go do your thing, and I'm gonna support you doing your thing. I'm gonna say, no, you gotta live your life, and no, you've gotta.
No, but I mean, like
have
in a year.
So many things in place. Oh
that
no, there's no way that I want a grandbaby in a year. What I would love to do, though, if I could, and I should, there's nothing that says that I can't. I should. I want to adopt a child.
I think that would go. Meow.
No, it would not work. No.
The wrong DNA. You gotta have the DNA in the child, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Because I'd say what makes me my valedictorian or whatever isn't necessarily all of this. It's this. A lot of DNA tonight. Keep on talking about DNA.
Keeping your legs closed is right.
Imagine keeping your grade. There is a Twitter video that you retweeted, Liam, and I was not expecting it. It was disturbing, to say the least. Like, it should be on Pornhub and not Twitter.
What?
And I was just scrolling that feed and...
Woo!
And you retweeted it.
Out the park. Which one?
Which one?
The Asian or the blonde?
I didn't look at the color of the person.
Enigma.
All I saw was the stuff that...
the stuff I wasn't supposed to see. The stuff was supposed to be blurred out. It's supposed to be blurred out. So...
And I never want that to happen to me. I never want someone just leaping at my head like that. That would just be...
Is that an image that you're not going to be able to burn away fast?
Like, wouldn't that hurt her things? Like, why would you just jump on your phone with your legs open? Why would you do that? And who would be like, ooh, yes. Who would be like that? Like, it was from a preview. She jumped on a Oh, I see.
Oh.
Well, that's nice to know,
That would still
Imagine
hurt.
keeping your legs closed in 2019.
Let's just imagine that. Ah,
Even though that never happens. It never happens, does it?
Tranquility. Yes, tranquility. That would be lovely.
Imagine streaming from a public bathroom on Twitch in 2019 and then getting banned because you're literally streaming the public bathroom. All the people doing their business, you're streaming that.
That'd be kind of nice.
Not nice.
Well, yeah. I mean,
nice.
if I'm worried about putting like my stuff, because I'm really concerned about making sure that I'm shouting my stuff next year from the mountaintops, because although I'm not afraid of losing my my class anymore, I'm still, I mean, there's still this moment where if it's not the one that's in popular demand, and I think it will be, but if it's not the one that's in popular demand, I could be looking at losing.
As a trash can.
Right.
But of course you're not going to lose it with
with my middle school
ISD district.
With my middle school. So I'm going to start shouting it from the mountaintops. So I'm going to have kids like Instagramming, and I'm going to have to learn how to hashtag stuff. I don't know what that is. I just don't know.
Hashtag is like putting it in a folder. It's like putting your tweet into a folder on a computer.
But they said hashtag working on my mission statement. Hashtag discovering the why. Hashtag golden circle. Hashtag, they just said,
they don't know how to
make
use
sure you
social
take
media.
pictures and just
hashtag
do all of
oldie,
this.
hashtag born before and after.
I just don't understand a hashtag.
Do you understand what he was saying, though? Because you should be mad at him right now. Tell him the what for.
I don't understand what it means.
Hashtag born before 1932.
Oh, I thought that was an M. I'm sorry. I was reading bomb. Bombadoo? Bombaboo? Oh, I'm sorry.
Hashtag bums
I
image.
can't see that far away. There must be just something wrong with my glasses. I keep
you
looking
need
at
to
them
load
thinking
up
that I
XP?
might need them to be clean, but
I
I think that it's just the screen. I think that it's... I'm trying to sit further away because there's such a mess right here.
There's not a big mess.
Yes, there is.
Oh, jeez.
And
I see what I was actively
can't see
working
the
on?
screen.
You see how well installed this XP is? It took me until, I started at, I'd say...
When you rolled out of bed this morning? I had a headache.
That verbiage.
I had a headache. I think that there's...
Is that big enough for you to see? 290%?
Yeah.
Okay, so now
But
you
there's
just look
nothing
over
there.
I know. So if I type in something there, see how huge it is?
Not with your head in the way.
Oh my...
Oh, there. Okay. What does DS mean? Dumb shit?
No.
So you're calling me? Can you read that, dumb shit? Is that what you're calling me?
I typed in 2 random letters. And you're looking into it. What do you think these mean?
Jugs? I don't know. As something that Dad found in the stuff that came from the garage finally.
Yeah, we
was
cleaned out our garage.
a 20th anniversary Hooters shot glass. It's like this big. It's huge. It's got a big, thick... No, it's probably from Grandpa. I don't know. I don't think that Grandpa went to Hooters a whole lot, but I don't even think a Hooters is open. Are there any Hooters still open?
I'ma get a job in Hooters.
Is Hooters still open? Is it still
Is it
open in
like-
North America?
What is Hooters? Let me look it up.
Ooh, what is Hooters? But he has a shot glass for you. Dad was like, I gotta get this upstairs. Yeah, I gotta get it upstairs so I get on his stream. Hooters.
Woo.
Oh, golly. There's
There is
Hooters
one.
right down here.
Oh, it's a restaurant. Yum.
With girls.
Girl.
Home of Hooters,
I see.
girls. Famous
It's
wings
more than
and beer.
420 Hooters restaurants in 42 states and...
Well,
What?
let's click on it. Click on it.
Hold on.
Go to
You
this.
gotta wait for the poor computer to load it up.
The
Gotta wait.
computer's still loading it?
Yeah.
There you
Hooters
are.
makes
Oh,
you
they
happy.
showed the owl.
Very happy. They showed the owl.
But we have a 20th
Woo!
anniversary. I don't know when the first Hooters opened, but now they've got a...
Okay. But they're woo. I mean, don't look. I got Kelly. Oh, Hooters
You
are
got them
everywhere
everywhere in the UK, but you don't go because you got Kelly. That's
I
right.
see. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't need to be served by some girls that's wearing something super skimpy. But I think that became like a trend for most, like, sports bars, that they put a
Yes.
skimpy. They put their waitress staff in skimpy outfits.
Mm.
And that brought customers in. I don't know. Maybe they were thinking about the golden circle and they went right to the Y and then they worked their way out from there.
Mm-hmm. Gotta attract a certain audience,
That's
right?
right. Well, they didn't even think about attracting the audience. They thought, why would I want to do this? Why would I want to?
No, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to install an old version of iTunes on this computer. I'm going to rip all these CDs that I have, and I'm going to sync them to my iPod. And then I'm going to rip some old cassettes that I have, and sync them to iTunes, and then sync them to my iPod. So I can listen to all the music.
What I'm worried about is that in all of that, every single one of those probably came from, especially the cassettes, probably came from...
The radio.
No, it probably came from, like, because I know in high school we used to say, even in college, we would say,
Don't copy that
oh,
floppy.
hey, you got that? Will you make a tape of that for me? And we did
I
that.
see.
We did that a lot. And we weren't, like, copying, the whole thing. Going to get everything onto something or other. Hey, when you've got the Bluetooth, the Apple
The Bluetooth.
AirPods.
AirPods, yes.
When you've got the AirPods,
Do you want to buy those AirPods?
Can you play from your watch?
Most definitely. And you can play from any other
gosh.
Bluetooth device.
So you don't have to have your phone nearby your watch in order to play from music from.
Oh no.
You can just play it directly from
Well,
your phone,
with
your watch.
With WatchOS 6, now you can stream directly from the watch instead of, because the way that it works right now is, let's say I have something on Spotify playing, I press play and it plays on my phone, and I can control something from, let's say, my computer on my watch through Spotify,
And
but
you can get a phone
I'm controlling my phone.
And you can get
Really?
a phone call,
Yes,
right? And you can take a phone call,
Yes.
right?
right on your watch.
So as a teacher, I need to start collecting AirPods now, don't I?
Well, yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, you can take the call even if you don't have a watch, right, from your AirPods. And
How?
you can also ask Siri stuff from AirPods, and they're actually pretty powerful. Like, they're not ready yet to be a consumer product, in my opinion, but maybe in
They
like
are a
5...
consumer product. What are you talking about? I'm
It-
talking about the ear things.
I know, like something that I'd purchase. I don't think they're ready yet, but they're
Oh.
close. They're close to something that I'd be like, now that I don't have that headphone jack, that would just be. But it's like,
Yeah.
why would I pay more money for something that sounds like crap than I did?
Do they?
Well, they sound like the regular earpods. These
Oh, okay.
that are literally falling
Well, but I'm
apart. Look
talking
at this.
about,
Look at this,
like-
Enigma. Look at this. I just noticed this when I was
But
listening
I'm
to
not-
them in the bathtub, so I was
Oh
like, I
my
probably should stop
God,
listening
yeah,
to these
you-
in the
but
bathtub.
this is why you need
AirPods.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Because
So buy me my
you
I'm just
don't
kidding.
always listen to. These are not your sole,
That's the problem, because it's like
But
when you're
because
running,
I saw
when
that
you're walking.
I saw that, and I don't know why I was there, but I was AirPods was something that just popped up. I don't know. At this time of year, I start thinking about your birthday too.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think, well, what would you want next? And I think AirPods was something, and they have like a new that charges that you can just sit. So I thought, now they're $150. Yeah,
$80.
They're $80 used, probably.
No, new from AirPods 1. Oh no, that's just the wireless charging case.
Yeah.
Oh!
They're $150.
Oh, I see.
They're $150. But
Oh, they took the price down by $10, I see.
they're $150.
Wow. That is such an amazing
They're
deal.
$150. I saw them for $150.
Oh, let's see.
Anyway, I saw them for $150, and I guess maybe I'm thinking, oh, your birthday, what would you want? Blah, 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 something electronic that I can afford. And that's what I was thinking, but I started reading, and I'm like, you can play music directly from your watch? And then I remember you talking about that kid that was taking their final exam in history, and she was like, well, how did you know that your lunch was in the office if I've got your phone?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was looking at my watch, and I got a phone call, and how did you get a phone call when I've got your? Well, I've got a watch, and I've got my, and I thought, wow, these kids, those are powerful little puckers, aren't they?
They are.
So I'm gonna have to start collecting that and your watch.
If you don't trust your kids, then yes. But if you trust your kids, then you don't have to collect them.
There are certain kids that I trust and certain kids that I don't trust.
Well,
That given, I would love to say, well, I'm gonna let Johnny have his phone because I trust him.
Mm-hmm.
But then you're gonna end up with, well, yeah, and I'm gonna let Frank not have his because I don't trust him. But it's not a matter of.
Hey, this would be a good poster.
It's not a matter of that. It used to be that kids learned a certain amount of respect. No, I respect and I trust this child. I don't respect nor do I trust you. So you better give up your phone. And as teachers, we used to be able to say that, and that was a teachable moment, but now we can't. Now we have to take the phones away from everybody so that everybody gets treated equally.
Or did they have another faculty meeting and say, you better take away the phones?
Oh, yeah, they have those faculty meetings all the time.
And they always
and
say
they
that?
say, yes, and what they say is, if you make a habit of collecting phones and something happens in your room,
you won't be responsible.
You're not going to be responsible. The administration is going to protect you. But if you don't make a habit of collecting phones, and we know who does and who doesn't, and something happens in your room, you are going to be held 100% responsible for that. And I thought, 100% responsible?
How?
For some stupid kid making some stupid...
How?
For whatever happened, you are the one that's responsible. You are the one that's supposed to be in charge of that classroom.
I guess. So you better start collecting those phones. And you
Yep.
did, right?
Yeah, I started collecting them, but what's difficult is that I don't know. There's nothing difficult. It's just an excuse. I want to trust that kids are going to be doing the right thing, but they don't.
That's a big issue, isn't it?
It's a huge issue, and I know that there are people that would like to think that I'm just really naive, and I probably am.
Naive. I see.
For allowing kids to have their phones, and for saying that this smart device is incredibly spectacular, and let me teach you how to use it to make your life easier.
Did you like this version of Office at all, 2003?
I think I used 2003 all the way up until
This one.
What, 5 years ago? 2007?
You used 2010 for the longest time.
Okay, 2010 then.
Because I'm thinking.
But there are things about 2000. I don't know. I know I liked. I had a difficult time
switching
transitioning.
From Works to Office.
Yeah, from Works to Office. Because Works just worked. It just did what it was supposed to do, and I didn't like the fact that Office threw so much stuff at me. And then they had like Access and things that I was never going to use. I mean, literally never going to use. And even like this PowerPoint presentation, I was like, what the heck is that?
It was a PowerPoint.
Yeah. What is that? I'm never going to
PowerPoint
use that. And then I watched
No.
my niece, who's now having a baby at, and is almost 40, use it. And I was like, she's like an adult now, and she's married, and she's going to have a child, and she's, I watched her use a PowerPoint once, make a PowerPoint presentation. I thought, well, that's kind of neato. But when am I ever going to use something like that? And now, every ounce of my class is run
PowerPoint driven.
Yeah, driven by a PowerPoint.
And if it's not PowerPoint, it's Excel. And
but
if
it
it's not
wouldn't
Excel,
be
it's
driven by a PowerPoint if I didn't have a projector that projected my computer screen in my room. If I didn't have that, then it would be pointless, because everybody would crowd around my computer screen to look at this little thing that I would click. No, that just wouldn't happen. I don't know. Times, they are a changing.
Yep. Kind of like how I have CD audio being able to be played right from my taskbar. Isn't that awesome? So if I take out the install disk for Office, don't you miss when discs looked like this?
It's a beautiful disc with all of those holograms on it.
And it's not only that one, it's also, this is an install for Windows XP Media Center Edition. And here is Windows 7, still the same thing.
How come this is this color?
I don't know, but they did that. Like, this is a Windows 95 disc, it just looked regular, and then Windows Vista.
This is what you're used to seeing. And it's got the actual hologram of a...
No, like
this, I don't know what that hologram was.
I think it's anti-copy protection because it looks different from all different angles.
Because this has the Windows
and
logo.
It needs to say, if it's a genuine product, you can see genuine in the product key. But if it isn't, then you can't see genuine.
Well, I can tell that this is Microsoft, but what is all of that gobbledygook
and
around
also
it?
through
It
the
doesn't look
hologram.
like a...
It says Windows Vista if you look closely, at least for this one. And
This
here
one
it says Windows
Office.
7. This says
Office.
Windows XP. And the same with this one.
OEM. OME.
Never paid for Windows in my life.
Microsoft.
I do not condone that behavior.
G.
Like, you took the smelliest poo.
Soft.
Like, if you bought Windows, man, you'd be able to be looking at these discs,
But it's really
like you're
crazy.
high.
I mean, it's really crazy.
It's like
I
you're
like
high.
it. I think it's beautiful.
There's Windows Movie Maker. Oh, and there's the Bliss background.
But this is what you're supposed to see. This is what it's supposed to look like.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Do not lend or make illegal copies of this software.
Do not
Do it.
That is illegal. Oh, there's the world. Two people loving each other right there. I'm loving it. Ooh, there's... Okay, yeah. There's like a lot of cool things here. There's the Microsoft with the world. This is Media Center. I wish that Media Center still worked.
Twitch support verified account. We are currently investigating an issue with streamers connecting to servers. Ooh, I see there's an issue with Twitch. They're having issues. And see, yeah, Windows 7 is just it just
Twitch
has
is having issues.
Windows 7 just has a bunch of Windows logos all over it. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Windows,
and
Windows,
then
Windows.
you got this, and I don't like this, where it just did this green.
Oh, you didn't like Windows Vista?
Yeah. I did like the fact that I got an academic upgrade, though.
Mm-hmm.
And they changed the Microsoft. What is it that it says? It says genuine Microsoft. And
This
then
disk contains 32-bit software only.
32-bit
Only
software.
32 bits.
But I really, really loved Media Center.
Mm-hmm.
Media Center was
amazing.
amazing.
It isn't necessarily working out
I
right now.
really wish that Media Center would have worked. Honest.
I'm going to try and get it set up with this computer.
We had thought years ago, this was years and years ago, that we would buy those mini boxes, just the little itty bitty ones, and have something that would have a major amount of space to store your recording, so that we would make, like before TiVo came out, that we would make a Windows PC box, and then TiVo came out, and then
You see?
yes, I loved the Media Center.
And this is
And we had so much recorded on the Media Center, and I don't know what the heck happened to all of the shows, but when Big Bang first came out, we recorded Big Bang, like, there it is.
This is the Windows XP Media Center, so it isn't. It isn't
Me
the one
videos,
that I'm
me
used to. I'm
TV.
used to the Windows 7/Vista one, because we were like early adopters of the Windows 7 beta. But like you can sync to your PDA right here. I'm like full on early
2003.
I have my PDA.
You gotta get your hat on sideways and get one sock tucked into your pants.
And I even have some hats up here. So I'm gonna work on my PDA also. See if I can't get that working out correctly.
There you go.
Okay, this just looks dorky.
Oh, and it's the gap.
Really dorky.
Oh, no.
Oh, it looks so dorky.
Come
Okay.
here.
But this is what I'm also
here,
excited
man.
about. The iPad, like I was telling you about. I mean, the iPod. This is like 2008 right here. And this brings me back right here. Media Center. Pretty
Where's
cool,
my
isn't
TV?
it? Let's see.
That was the absolute best.
My music.
Yeah. It was just such a good... I don't know why they... Well, I do know why they got rid of it. I know that Netflix and
what I'm also going to
just
try and
the
do
way that
is-
we watch TV just kind of changed. I think that every satellite company out there said to Microsoft, please don't. And I know when we went snipped, I mean, it was completely based on that. We've been snipped for a long time, but it was based
now
on
we
that
just do
idea,
Hulu.
this premise. Yeah.
But
now we
snipping
pay
your
for...
wire is just
Well,
like-
now snipping the
Hulu
wire
kinda
just
sucks.
to us just means, well, no cable. It just means we're not paying for a cable company. And all we're really doing is Netflixing and...
Should I open up the Ray Bradbury Theater? 13 episodes over 5 hours. You broke your Razer mouse and the replacement arrived today? Oh, you broke it yesterday and it arrived today.
What?
Are you... You should be happy about
Fast.
that. That's really fast. That's...
How'd you break a
surprisingly-
Razer mouse? I
Yeah.
thought they were practically
Did-
indestructible.
Did you rage? Is that how you broke it? You broke it in fury and rage. Trying to find a DVD.
I picked it up and I threw it against a wall. Is that what you did? That
That sounds
sounds like the only way you could break a Razer mouse.
Alright. Let's see, I wish
Ooh.
I have a
Ooh.
Blu-ray.
Earthquake? Earthquake?
It's not the same.
But these are really cool. They put a lot of thought into it. Oh, there's the briefcase, and oh, there's a document, a mouse. It's connecting the world. They put a lot of thought into this, I think.
Oh yeah.
This was Windows XP.
Windows XP is a good version of Windows, wasn't it? Let's see, I have a DVD disc right here. I'm going to insert something into the DVD ROM right here. Look at that. Aren't I cool? Ooh, got stuck on the cable.
Ooh.
Alright, I'm gonna play that DVD.
I'm going to have green bean fries tonight.
Yummy. What are we eating, Lucas?
Hamburgers.
Hamburgers. We're gonna have ourselves a hamburger. See, it's playing the DVD. Can you hear those
We
sounds?
got a DVD and not a Blu-ray. That's how old it is.
You can't hear the sounds right now. Oh, come on.
You flushed it in the toilet.
Decoder error. What? Flushed it in the toilet?
Oh, you were making a video on products with warranty replacements.
Ah, I see.
I see.
And speed.
So a Razer mouse is not waterproof. I think I could have guessed that.
Oh, my hair.
Put your hat back on, man.
Oh, jeez. Okay, gotta put it like this.
There.
I look such dork.
You don't look good with a hat on, do you?
I don't.
You look much better with it like this.
I'm gonna get me. All right, guys.
It's a Gap.
You're a
See,
Gap.
if you wanna go like late '90s, early 2000s, you gotta go Gap.
Take
right?
my genuineness. Look at how genuine I am. I
Gotta go Gap.
got myself Windows XP. I have Windows 95. I have Office. I have Vista. I have 7. And I have Windows ME over here. I got myself Windows 98.
Yeah, you got it all.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got it all for you,
Mm-hmm.
so that you could have it now because we hoard it.
You're ticking me off how bad you were treating those discs. Like
yes,
this?
let's not do that because that does bother me too. Yeah, because they're pretty ancient. I mean, they are pretty ancient.
You know, you should see me handle things like computer parts.
And you can
like,
see that
this
they
is a
have
CPU.
had their fair share of abuse. And you can't just rub peanut butter on them like people think that you can. Doesn't work.
That don't work.
Decoder error
I
has
wanna
either
drop-
malfunctioned or is not installed.
Why
Please
do you-
restart Media Center and or your
Why do you
computer.
want to drop kick me right now?
Because of that, man. Because of that.
Oh boy.
Ooh, boy.
RAM is like, you probably shouldn't be touching RAM like this.
No, why are you doing that?
Because I've never had a problem before, except for this GPU that now doesn't work for
Before?
some reason.
It's like people saying, you know, I've crossed in
We
in
respect
traffic
technology.
a billion times. I've run across in traffic a billion times. Just like Frogger. And nothing has ever happened until today.
Well, guys, thank you.
Invalid.
Thank you for watching. Catch you later. I'll make sure to respect my technology from now on.
It does smell like supper's ready.
I'm gonna make sure to respect it. Better respect it. You see, does this make you feel better now?
Yes,
Does this
see,
make you
I
feel
touched
better?
it like this.
That's how I normally touch them, but then I was just like, who cares?
That's
Like,
how
when
we
you-
need
when
to
you
look
have
at them.
DVDs
You are right, sir.
When you have so many DVDs like this, it's just really hard to. It's just really hard to organize them.
So you turned my Sims game to auto age up, and now I've lost the ages on all of my babies. My babies have grown up and they don't have any characteristics, and they never made it through even learning how to walk. They never made it through movement.
Do you want me to turn that off?
Yeah,
I will.
I need to.
All right. So thank you for watching. I will catch you later.
Later.
Bye bye.
Bye, guys.